Today we are looking at Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny. Now this one is PG-13. It's got sequences of violence, action, language, and smoking. This is the 5th film in the franchise, right?
That's right. You started with Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I think they've renamed it Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. And then it was Temple of Doom, and then The Last Crusade, and then Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which nobody cares about.
Interdimensional alien beings.
So it's pretty dumb. And then, so this one, there's like a 15 to 20 minute prologue where they de-age Harrison Ford.
Oh, yeah.
So it's back in the 1940s, and I think it was done pretty decently, but everything was really dark, so you didn't have to do it too well, I guess.
They were smart about that.
That was probably by design. And then it jumps 25 years into the future, which would put you in the 1960s.
Wait, can we CGI us to look younger as well?
Well, I don't know.
Especially you.
I already look young. I mean, I'm sure. Yeah. Speak for yourself, old man. So, The Dial of Destiny, the name of it, is actually based on a real item, the Antikythera. It's something that was found by divers, and it seems like it's some sort of calculating device.
So it was a real device that's been found?
Yes, but not for this.
Not for this movie. No,
the way the movie
portrays
it turns it into something
I didn't realize
that
it was
can,
a real artifact.
Yeah, an actual artifact, but it turns it into something that is like able to help them time travel or locate
in the movie
rifts in time that they could take them back in time. So a quick overview of the film. Indiana's goddaughter, Helena, she's the daughter of his friend that we meet in the prologue, visits him and starts inquiring about this device that he and Indy and her father had.
She acts so innocent, like she has good intentions and good motives.
Yeah, she's very interested in it. Her father was obsessed with it, and so she talked about how she's just kind of taken up his research.
She's a really good friend of Indy's.
Yep. And Dr. Voller, who is a Nazi, so going back to kind of the roots of Indiana Jones, the first one and the third one, he's going against the Nazis, so this one has that feel as well. He also wants the device because he wants to go back to the time of World War II and fix some of the mistakes that Hitler made so the Nazis can win. So
ultimately, he wants to take Hitler's place. Yeah. He wants to get rid of Hitler and be the Fuhrer himself.
Right. So there's some pretty high stakes here. And basically what happens is it sets up a race for who's going to find the other half of the dial and prevent the Nazis from winning World War II. So when I saw the previews for it, I did not have a lot of...
I did not either, honestly.
Nobody wants to see Indiana Jones at 80 years old running around. It looked like they were going to do the same exact thing they had done in movies like The Last...
Your favorite movie?
I don't know if I can't get the words out. I don't want to say it. It looked like what they were going to do to Luke in Last Jedi, where they're like, hey, let's take a legacy character and completely trash him and ruin him.
And let's replace female character.
Right. Who's going to be the Mary Sue, and she's going to know everything and do everything and be great. That's what the preview made it look like.
It did.
And
the first 20 or 30 minutes of the movie may lean you towards that thinking as well.
Yeah, after the prologue. Yeah. And then things changed, and it actually wasn't quite what I expected. It actually got better. She wasn't completely a Mary Sue. She comes across that way at the beginning, but she had to grow. She had to learn, and Indy wasn't completely useless. It seemed like he was going to be at the beginning, but he actually gets kind of back into the mode of being Indiana Jones, and overall, I was pleasantly surprised.
And I think for both of us, we had our expectations about down here. Yeah, they were way low.
Under the ground?
Under the ground.
And so that helped as well. So when it shot over the bar, it wasn't a high bar anyway, but it made it a more enjoyable experience as we watched the movies, and we had...
It definitely was better than Kingdom of Crystal Skull.
It was.
I might like it better than Temple of Doom, which I've always thought was kind of a dumb one. I don't put it as high as the first or the third one, but...
Yeah. I think my favorite by far is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I think most people say that, or the third one, So anyway, she does start out like the typical woke women we've seen in these films, where she knows it all, she can do everything, and she's
smartest one in the room.
Yeah, and so after what she does is she actually steals the device, the part of the device that they have from Indy, leaves him for dead, because there's people chasing, and she closes him in the room with them.
Yep.
So this is not a good person.
She's a very bad goddaughter.
She's terrible.
Yes, exactly. And then she tried to sell it on the black market, and there's a long car chase that comes after that. This is what happens, and here's Helena, so let's meet her.
You think he'd be proud of this? Your father, his only daughter, selling her soul for bail money.
Sounds quite cool when you put it like that.
of its gambling debts and some...
Teddy.
Helena! No! Helena! How did you end up like this?
I mean, resourceful, daring, beautiful, self-sufficient.
So, like we talked about in the episode we did back in season 1 with the woke women versus strong women, they tell rather than show. So far we have not seen that from Helen at all, other than intelligent.
Sure. Well, she got the device. She stole it. She set up the bidding for it, and then also she's doing the chart.
And she was able to answer questions in the class when she snuck into the back. So she knew certain things. She memorized her father's research, that kind of thing. She is daring, I would say that, but
for sure.
As far as resourceful and beautiful and self-sufficient, the film hasn't showed us that at all.
Well, and it seems like she's longing
opposite.
for those things. That's why she's trying to do this, to fill those gaps where she doesn't really believe that about herself, is what it really kind of seems like.
It's almost like the film's gaslighting us on that. Like,
Dear, this whole romance that you've invented just proves you're too naive to be here.
you're supposed to believe she is
You
this.
really should.
She's this. And it's like, no, she's not. So far, she's been greedy, smug, selfish, proud of being a thief and with gambling debt.
Yep.
And those we're supposed to like her?
So when you get to know me better, you'll really like me.
I won't like you. Goodbye.
Right, so she starts off like that, and by the end, she is a better character. So she does learn, which is nice. So if you think about the things that she talked about, daring and resource, the things that we see movies telling us these are the good things versus what does the Bible tell us as far as content, as far as the ideals? We should be content.
Right.
You know?
Well, I mean, the Bible says in 1 Timothy 6, verses 6 through 7, that but godliness with contentment is great gain.
Right.
Being content with what God has given us, that is great gain. And actually, because when we're being content like that, we're actually putting our hope and our faith and our desires in God. And so when
Right.
you do that, then the stuff of this world has a lot more meaning in and of itself. And so
Right.
you find riches when you're actually content.
Exactly, and we're supposed to be generous, so you don't do not neglect to do what is good and share with what you have. Hebrews 13:16. So she is greedy and chasing after money, and we're going to see a scene later on where she talks about that.
And the big one here
obviously,
for
she's not
her-
content. She's not generous.
Definitely not humble.
I too am extraordinarily humble.
Okay. Her lack of humility does not resonate with me, all right, as you watch this movie. But I need more resonates than you, all right? So I'm trying to catch up. But anyway, and the Bible says God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble in James 4:6. And indeed, that's what he does. And so it's a good idea to be humble so God doesn't oppose you, but rather gives you grace.